Welcome to the Success in Africa podcast with Dr. Modupe, your weekly dose of leadership vitamins to make you successful in Africa.
Hello and welcome to the Success in Africa podcast. My name is Dr. Modupe Taylor Pierce, and I am a scholar and practitioner of leadership and organizational development. Simply put, I study what makes people successful. I have been studying this for 3 decades with a particular focus on people in Africa. And in this podcast, I share stories, lessons, and insights about people having success in Africa. I created this podcast because I have a vision for Africa. I have a vision of Africa becoming a middle-income continent by 2030 and a high-income continent by 2040. And for that to happen, I need you and every other African watching or listening to this podcast to become successful. So if you want to be successful in Africa, I encourage you to like and subscribe to this podcast. This episode is brought to you courtesy of BCA Online, the one-stop shop for mastering leadership. Joining BCA Online is free, and it gives you access to countless hours of knowledge, videos, and a plethora of resources on leadership that will enhance your capacity. If you have questions that you want me to answer after watching this video, just log on to BCA Online. The link is on the screen and post your questions there. That is where I will respond to your questions. Today, I'm so excited to be focusing our episode on a man whose name is almost synonymous with African business success. This is somebody whose vision is to industrialize Africa, to transform Africa through industrialization and manufacturing. He and I share a similar vision of the transformation of Africa. His name is Aliko Dangote. He's the founder and chairman of the Dangote Group, and he also happens to be the richest man in Africa. But more than his wealth, I want us to focus on his journey, what he did, how he thought, and what we can learn from his success in Africa. So, Dangote was born in 1957, incidentally, the same year that Ghana got its independence. And he was born in Nigeria into a wealthy Muslim family. His grandfather, Sanusi Dantata, was one of the richest men in West Africa. But even with this background, Dangote has always said that he had a deep entrepreneurial spirit, even from childhood. He started business early. Even at age 8, he was buying cartons of sweets and then selling them for a profit in school. As a young man, teenager, he went to Egypt to complete his studies, his university studies in business. When he returned back to Nigeria, Dangote convinced his uncle to lend him $3,000 to start a trading business. This was now in the late 70s. He started importing rice, sugar, cement, pasta, and other consumable staples, and quickly gained a reputation for his reliability and speed. He built relationships with government institutions that were major bulk buyers. This helped him to scale the business quickly. And by the 1980s, Dangote's trading company had become one of the largest importers in Nigeria. But he didn't stop there. And this is the first lesson I want us to learn. He shifted from trading to manufacturing. Why? Because he saw the opportunity. You see, Dangote understood or realized that importing, buying and selling only builds temporary wealth. But producing locally, especially at scale, creates sustainable wealth. It creates jobs. It creates long-term success. He was also motivated, frankly, to create jobs for his people. And he knew that by moving from trading or buying and selling to manufacturing, production, he would significantly increase the number of jobs created. He started first with refining sugar and then milling flour and pasta and then processing salt. You see, because he already had the relationships with the customers who were already bulk buyers of his products that he was importing, it was frankly not too difficult for Dangote to sell his own brand to his customers because they were already dependent on Dangote trading to supply them these goods. But he didn't stop there. In the early 2000s, even while he was already very successful, Dangote also recognized that Nigeria was about to experience a significant increase in housing construction and infrastructure development. He could see it from the sales of the cement that he was selling in his trading company. He decided to expand his manufacturing into the production of cement. Now, producing cement is a whole new league from the other things. The investment is huge. He had to invest billions into cement plants and built state-of-the-art facilities in Nigeria and then later expanded them into Africa. He had to hire the best to do this. I'll talk about this a little bit later in this episode. By 2012, Dangote Cement became the largest cement producer in sub-Saharan Africa with plants in Nigeria and also 14 other African countries. But he wasn't finished. In 2016, Dangote took on another big business gamble. He decided to expand into oil refinery. Why? Because again, he saw opportunity. He saw that Nigeria, which happens to be one of the largest oil producing countries, was still importing most of its fuel. Why? Because of a lack of refining capacity. So he started building the Dangote refinery in Lagos. He's invested $19 billion with a B into the refinery, and the refinery has a production capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, which makes it one of the largest refineries in the world. Once it is fully operational, it's going to save Nigeria billions of dollars in fuel imports and create thousands of jobs and give Dangote dominance in the energy sector. Now, you might be tempted to think that, this journey was just smooth. He just went from one success to the other. But he certainly had his own share of challenges because he was operating, after all, in Nigeria. And the Nigerian economy, like many African economies, is unpredictable. There are infrastructure gaps, power shortages, policy inconsistencies. But you know what? Dangote responded to each of these challenges by building a solution for himself, for his company. He developed his own logistics fleet with thousands of trucks. He's developing his own oil refinery to reduce the dependency on imported petroleum. He developed relationships with the policymakers so that he could stay ahead of the policy changes. See, this is the second lesson I want us to learn from Dangote's journey. Don't just complain about the gaps. Fill them. Build to fill them. There are solutions to every problem, and entrepreneurs hunt problems and come up with solutions. Dangote invested in solutions, his own trucks, his own ports, his own refinery, his own relationships, because he understood that waiting for the government to take action would only delay his success. All along the journey, Dangote was very conscious that for him and his business to succeed, he needed to hire the brightest and best to enable his company to expand. For technical industries like cement plants, oil refining, large-scale sugar processing, Dangote brought in top engineers and project managers from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. He also trained young Nigerian and African professionals to ensure that the knowledge transfer also occurred. The man is an African patriot. The Dangote Group is known for being one of the highest paying companies in Nigeria and West Africa, especially for skilled professionals. For C-suite and senior management, Dangote uses top international recruitment firms and headhunters to attract executives with global corporate experience. He runs graduate training programs and collaborates with universities for talent pipelines. He has been intentional about building a culture of national pride. He makes no secret of his mission to industrialize Africa, and the employees buy into this vision. He is directly involved in the hiring of top recruits and managers. This leads me to lesson number 3. Hire the best talent. If you're going to be successful in Africa, you have to hire the best talent available. You see, the reality about business is it's just like sports. The teams with the best players win way more often than teams with mediocre players. And Dangote understood this. And he has definitely invested in people. The fourth lesson to learn from Dangote's journey is this: bet on Africa. This is my favorite lesson. Dangote is a maverick. He has said repeatedly that the future of prosperity is right here in Africa. While many Africans are dreaming of going abroad, Dangote stayed and doubled down on Africa. The man had a rich grandfather. He could have left. But even when global investors hesitate, he has expanded his cement plants to Ethiopia, Zambia, Senegal, Tanzania, proving that African markets can deliver the returns if you understand them and serve them well. The fifth and final lesson from Dangote's journey that I want to highlight to you is that he never stops learning. Dangote is a lifelong learner. Despite his wealth, he keeps a low profile, but he continues to seek wisdom. He's always asking questions of his mentors, of experts, of analysts. He reads business reports voraciously and economic forecasts. You see, this habit of continuous learning for Aliko Dangote has been a critical part of his success in Africa, because the continent, we know, it changes, it's volatile, it's uncertain, it's complex, it's ambiguous, and you have to continue to be open to learning so that you can make better decisions as a leader for your company. So let's recap 5 powerful lessons from Aliko Dangote's journey. Number 1, he shifted from trading to creating, because he understood real wealth is created by owning and producing, not just by buying and selling. Number 2, he solved the challenges. Infrastructure challenge, build your own. Policy challenge, build your own relationships. Number 3, he hired the best talent globally. Again, the teams with the best talent usually win. Number 4, he bet on Africa, and he reinvested in its growth. Number 5, he's a lifelong learner, understanding that the best entrepreneurs are lifelong learners. Aliko Dangote is not just Africa's richest man. He's a builder. He's a builder of factories, of supply chains, of infrastructure, of people, and of belief in the continent of Africa. His life and his journey reminds us that success in Africa is not about luck. It's about wisdom, courage, execution, and consistency. Follow those principles, and you too will enjoy success in Africa. All too soon, we've come to the end of today's episode. I do hope you've learned a bit more about becoming a successful entrepreneur in Africa. Thank you so much for listening and watching. A reminder that at BCA Online, you can get access to lots and lots of material. And for BCA Leadership, we support you with the kind of knowledge, training, and coaching that you need in order to make better decisions for your company. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, tell your friends about it, because together we can transform our beloved continent of Africa. That's all, folks. See you next week.
Tomorrow belongs to those people who prepare for it today. See you next week.